What do you think? Alright, so I'll open the meeting up. And, Edgar, you're good? Very good. Let's see, actually, Sam, why don't you lead us off?
Thank you.
Receivables list has 3 pages today. The first 2 are the normal receivables lists. And the key 2024 PO1 and PO2 are what is probably going to lien on Thursday. Or executing a lien. I haven't heard from any of those other folks on this list that says they're coming in this week, so that might be who we're gonna be doing a lien for.
Okay.
On Thursday. No be alarming or out of the ordinary on that.
Yeah.
Sam, I'm sorry, I was changing gears from reading 5 sets of minutes. Which are the ones that are gonna be possibly going up for DD? PO1 and PO2?
Nope, for the leaning is gonna be PO1 and PO2 of 2024.
Yes, okay.
The leaning, yeah. The deeding is that first
Leaning.
one that you received packet on via
Right.
email.
Yeah.
So you guys were prepared for that.
Yeah.
I have to date, I haven't heard from either of the deeded property owners either, so,
Alright.
yeah, that's where we are with that.
Yeah.
That's too bad, cause last time it sounded like they were imminent, we were gonna hear from them imminently, so that's too bad. Okay.
The third sheet is a summary of taxes owed for Beulah Fellowship, who called me this afternoon, and I spoke with Nathan Davis, who is the minister there, who has spoken to Mandy on multiple occasions regarding the property tax status and how he can get paperwork in. Last year, we did not give him a tax exempt status on his property for the church up there, or the church property. So the basic message is he wants to pay the bill, but he does not have the money to pay the bill before the lien. Can the town work with him? He feels unprepared and needs help navigating the lien or navigating this $12,000 bill. He was confused why he filled out paperwork but still received tax bills, and he's willing to pay the debt, but he's unable to do so at this time. And so I spoke to him briefly and I said, that's really not me, that's really the selectmen, we've been over this several times now. And if you have further recourse, it's gonna be through the board of selectmen. So,
We've communicated multiple times, right,
Yeah.
with him?
So we can send a letter from you guys to me, to him, explaining that he would have to meet with you to determine the next course of action for him. However, it's not gonna prevent leaning because that's tomorrow, right, or
Thursday.
Thursday?
yeah,
Yeah.
and
So-
he didn't say, I said to him, if you can come up and pay the portion of the bill before Thursday, it's gonna help. And he said he's busy and so,
He's busy, not that he didn't have the money, but he was busy.
he is a little bit of both.
Okay,
Said he's, this is all new to him, the board members have passed away, he doesn't have a big budget. Between the 4 or possibly 5 churches, he is scratching up money to make this right, but he doesn't have all the money. So, I'm not stalling the lien process because we're not stalling the lien process.
and
Certainly
so
makes sense.
last year when this came up, when we talked to him about the fact that none of the paperwork had been filed, I thought it was to get the exemption from the church, correct? Is this who we were still dealing with?
Yeah.
So at that time, he knew what was
aware.
going on and
Correct.
we had a discussion with him and it was,
We have not received any of the notices or property bills that we have sent to the address on your sheet. This is the address we've been sending stuff to, and we have not had any returned to the office.
Yeah.
So,
So it's been delivered.
it's been delivered as far as we've done stuff.
okay,
Alright,
So do you want me to try and reach out? Yeah?
yeah,
I think it would be nice to have a kind of a formal
Yep.
notice from him about why, as opposed to just a conversation with Sam,
Yep,
which is great, but
I'll get with Sam and get all the particulars on notifications and everything, and we'll have, see if I can chat with him.
yeah, that'd be great, thank you.
sounds good.
I find it hard to believe he doesn't, know. Thanks, Sam.
Questions for me?
Nothing.
Not other than that,
Okay.
thank you.
Chief?
Thank you, sir.
Last month, we had 9 incidents, 3 arrests, 1 accident, 45 citations, 461 calls for service. State police assisted us with 4 calls, and we had 48 miscellaneous hours of training. On top of that, we held a drug interdiction class, which was 8 hours on Friday, the 11th of April. We had officers as far as Maine come to that. Officer Dumas went to that class. Officer Westgate did a 40-hour instructor development class that was held at the police academy. And Officer Dumas did a 40-hour supervisory leadership class that was put on through the FBI that was in Laconia. That was actually paid for by his part-time department.
That's great.
We got to use that.
Great. So when you say did, he actually held it? I mean, he participated in it or he led it?
No, he participated in it.
Okay.
So it's a series of classes, there's 3 in total. There's supervisor leadership, command leadership, and executive leadership. So it's called a trilogy.
Okay, great.
The only other thing I got is in May, we'll be starting the SEAL competitions to students for
Yep.
the tricentennial badge. And then the plan is to have it chosen and let the winner know who won on the last day of school at an assembly.
Oh, nice.
And I think we talked about probably a photo with you and the winning,
Once the badge is
yeah. That's right.
ready and built, I'm gonna have 1 extra badge that's gonna get put into a plaque with that student's name. And that'll hang up at the Salmon Lake House as long as it's
Yeah.
okay with the town.
For the photo op, can we get a,
Oh,
if you want, no, for yes, we could be there too,
Yeah,
which would be
yeah.
lovely. But, can we get a copy of the winning seal so we can blow it up nice and big, so that's part of the photo op as opposed
we can
to
figure that out.
little kid and
Yeah.
big cup holding little tiny.
Yeah, I'm sure we can figure it out.
Yeah.
Sure we can figure out some way to make that look
Send me
bigger.
the artwork and I will be happy to blow it
Yeah.
up, but it should be nice to see
So the way
what
it's going
the
is
winning thing is.
the teachers or assuming the higher up staff at the school is gonna pick 3. And then
Yeah.
the tricentennial committee is gonna take that 3 and narrow it down to 1.
Oh, good.
And that's the seal that's gonna go in the badge for that year, for 2027.
Send me all 3 and I'll make them good so we can see them.
Yeah.
Great, thank you. I'm sure I'll get them through the tricentennial committee too, so,
Yeah.
but either way, that'd be great.
Yep, I agree.
Is this the time when we were gonna ask about, where you're doing speed checks on roads? Did we,
Okay.
can
What
we,
would you like?
I was informed of the accident yesterday on Hackleboro last night. And, speed was involved and I heard
It had
from,
more to do with, more than just speed.
more than just speed, I'm sure. But in checking up the road to make sure the neighbors were safe who usually walk there, because I didn't know at that time if it was somebody walking who had been hit or what had happened. 4 neighbors up the road all commented on the speed on which people come down on that straightaway
Mhm.
and then hit that awful curve, so I'm surprised we haven't had more accidents, but I didn't know if that's one of the places on your radar as far as
Well,
once in a while looking at,
Yeah,
not
typically
radar,
it's- I mean, our main spots are obviously Shaker Road, Intervale,
yeah,
132, because they have the long straightaways that
yeah,
people barrel down. Hackleboro's another one, it's just the problem with Hackleboro, is in order for us to pull off.
no,
Obviously, there are people that live on Hackleboro that would not mind us sitting in their driveway and blocking their driveway. We just have to get their permission to do that.
I can think of at least 3 people who would be happy to give you permission.
I can too, it's a
Yes,
matter,
you can.
it's a matter, are they near
Yeah,
the
yeah,
spot, so.
yeah,
You can take my driveway right in the corner.
There you go.
See, that's easy.
If you know people, have them shoot me an email,
yeah,
give me their address, have them give me their address and give me permission, I can get that out to
Okay.
them. We've been lacking on the actual directed patrols just cause they've been busy doing other things.
oh, I'm sure, I
With
just,
the summer weather coming.
Yeah.
We're gonna be trying to change the schedule a little bit, to give them more time on duty so that they can work on their investigations, take a break, get out on the road. That way I have more patrols out on the road and visible during the day. And hopefully that'll help with the speed this time of year, cause like I said, this time of year is when it usually starts to pick up again.
Well, no,
we're trying to
frost heaves,
fix that. Well, the
easier to go
frost heaves,
fast.
yeah, that's exactly it, it's just, for some reason in the winter months, people don't go out.
Yeah.
So there's less people out on the road, this time of year in the summer, there's a lot more people out on the road and people are just flying everywhere they're going.
Yeah.
So we're playing with the schedule to try and get more coverage, more or less, and by doing that, we have a plan to separate it so that they can, like I said, work on their investigations and be able to take a break and get out on the road and actually be visible and be out there making stops.
Great, thank you. I was just making a little plug for my neighborhood.
We can definitely get that out there, but Hackleboro is.
I'm glad everybody, it ended up not to be, more serious. So, thank you.
Nope,
Alright,
No, thank you.
thanks, Chief. John, I think it's down to you.
It's down to me, yeah. I'm thinking the dirt roads must be too smooth that they're able to run those,
That's such a head of speed.
commute road like that, yeah.
That part of Hackleboro is paved, so maybe they're all excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. Allegiance was contacted, the truck's in the shop,
Okay.
it's in the build. We have a CDL driver now that can actually
Super.
drive a town truck,
So John, what's he have for right now, a B?
a B.
Okay, so a B with tanker and,
I'm
What
not sure,
else?
I'm not sure about the tank,
okay, alright, just curious.
but that's just a paper test.
Yeah, and we don't have anything in town that's an A, right?
No.
Nothing, yeah,
Unless,
550 with the trailer would require an A,
interesting, okay.
technically.
if you drive a 70-foot motorhome,
I know,
over a trailer
that's-
without any other kind of license,
Very
you
true.
can't drive a 550.
Yeah.
You put a sticker on it, make it look, a couple of curtains, make it look like a mobile home.
So, yeah, we're out working, grading roads, picking up the ditches, getting some ditching done. We moved the box trailer up into the dock, so excess cardboard, when the bale is full, they now put it in there.
Very good.
And the new employee seems to be working out good. Anything for me?
It's not a bad report. You've done a lot worse.
We've technically got two new employees, right? Both guys are doing good.
I'm sorry.
We technically have two new employees. Are they both doing good?
At the dump, I have one new.
Yeah.
Oh, at the
Yeah,
highway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I saw him the other day, I think, he worked Saturday, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Good.
I got nothing else. Oh, did they give you an ETA for the engine repair, how long that might take?
no, there's no time limit on it,
Yeah, just curious.
it's not that we're crying for a truck.
Yeah. Understood.
We just pulled the plow off one truck so he can drive that and
Yeah,
get used to it. And,
yeah,
he just got delegated the packer, so.
okay. That's a good place to start, I think.
Alright,
Thanks, John.
thank you, John. That sounds good.
Alright, and I haven't seen Mike, so I'm assuming he's still out in the fire.
Today was his first day back from vacation,
I do that.
so he told me he had quite a bit of stuff on his desk.
Yeah, I was
So-
one of them actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I left him a few notes,
So he didn't know how much he was gonna get done for tonight,
yeah,
he was gonna work.
No
I think
worries.
I called out that in
yeah. And I guess on his behalf, I will say the pancake breakfast is Saturday. Starting at 7:30 if I remember,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
So for those watching, bring your appetites and.
No, they were very good. They put the sign up this year, so it didn't blow
Yeah,
down, so
actually,
that,
yeah.
that is good.
Evan, I think, customized it a little more, so. Alright, what do you think, we'll sign some stuff?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Cause we're doing good for time.
Yeah,
Pure Science Energy is supposed to log in,
oh, he's gonna, okay,
via
remote,
Zoom, so
yeah, okay,
we'll just keep an eye on that.
Okay.
Log in.
yeah, yeah, whenever he logs in, we can take a pause. Alright, first item looks like an accounts payable manifest in the amount of $38,993.27.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye. Oh, wait, here. You sign while I find a pen.
Next one,
No, I got one right here. I just got out everything else but.
See you're coming, well stopped.
I know. I don't suppose I can sign, my niece left me a glitter pen. Yeah, live and update, manifest. Need glitter pen.
Thank you. Alright, next is a payroll manifest in the amount of $52,796.30.
So moved.
All those in favor? Aye?
Aye. Yeah.
Go. Alright, so I have two welfare manifests, both dated April 21st. First is in the amount of $150. Cal, anything you wanna say about that one?
That one is actually kind of going through the welfare department, but it's not really the
I
welfare
see that,
department.
yeah,
It's, Erin Chubb at CES, gave a gift card to a family that was in need
Yeah.
and she worked with the trustees of the trust fund to get that paid out from the Lucia Elkins Sick and Worthy Poor Trust.
okay.
So we're just documenting it here because it is kind of a welfare thing. And more documentation is always better.
Absolutely. We don't need motions now, I thought I was remembering that correctly.
And so the second one is the mortgage.
Yep, that's the,
The
standard one.
yeah.
yeah, and then there's a third one, which has a
Oh, I
whole bunch
didn't
of
see that.
documentation
Okay.
attached.
Here, I'll give Ken you that one. I'll give you this one. Yep. Oh, yeah, okay.
So if you want to discuss this one, I would suggest going into executive session.
Yeah, why don't we? Alright, so I'll make a motion, have you got the form?
I
Just wanna
do,
get the relevant section.
do you wanna just save it to the end, or,
We could,
cause then
have
we
we
don't have
got
to kick
other-
everybody
oh
out.
yeah, that's a good point, actually, yeah. Okay,
Okay,
let's do it that
so
way.
yeah, just set it to the side,
Yep.
come back to it.
Yep. Alright, thank you, that's, alright, we'll come back to that one at the end. So I'll leave that open. Alright, next is an interfund transfer from Elkins Memorial Building Repair to TD Bank Operating. In the amount of $1,220.81. And that looks like it's to cover additional stone for door frame at that's that door they were going
The
to.
back door
Yeah,
by the Historical
yeah.
Society.
It should only be $300 today.
Oh, I'm sorry, I read the remaining balance, $300, my mistake. Not yours, Cal,
Cal has a
it's late in the
small
day,
stroke.
but I guess it's good to know the balance we have in there.
That's still for the work on the back door?
Well, we got one invoice, 2 weeks ago for that. That was, I think it was 2 weeks ago, we got the first invoice for that, and then we just got this one.
Oh, okay.
The work was done last November.
Wow,
They're a little slow in their going.
that's, thank you. Alright,
Yes,
all that,
a time limit if you don't bill us
Oh, wait a
within,
minute, that's the memorial building?
It is the.
Oh, okay, this was for the front steps over there. They had some work done on the front
Oh,
steps,
okay.
I'm sorry. This is the front steps at the old Elkins Memorial.
Yep. Yep,
Oh, okay, I thought it's on Memorial, alright.
Yeah, cause they.
That
they
makes more
connected those.
sense, yeah,
Yeah, that was the front steps, I think.
gotcha.
Pointing lower sections left and right of North Main.
Yeah.
Alright. Land use change tax for 10, let's see,
Excuse me.
456 Mountain Road, no, that's the.
Should be mapped 212 lot 16-2, and then there's
Yeah,
a second
got it.
one for lot 16-1.
Okay.
I should ask Mandy for permission to start highlighting on her stuff.
Yeah. Alright,
Doesn't invalidate anything if you highlight things, does it?
I don't think so, it's just if her record keeping would prefer that I don't. For post-its.
today is the 21st, right?
Yes.
Gosh. Yeah, I'm just waiting for
Yeah.
Calvin to pass that one before we start the next one.
I've seen your signing, you're not that slow.
I'll make up for you too.
He signed it.
Thank you. Alright, why don't we sign this last one? So this is the second one that Cal spoke about for lot 212, tax map 212, lot 16-1.
Also land use. change
Correct.
tax, right, okay.
That is correct.
That tax map and lot number is about halfway down the page.
Okay, yeah, I just noticed it's very small. I need maybe better glasses. We're gonna keep doing those.
The font is really
Yep.
very small.
Maybe I'll just do post-its.
Yeah, it does, right.
We just get ourselves each one of those lights, you know,
Yeah,
with
right.
the big magnifier.
Right. I think somebody on the planning board used to use one.
Really?
Yeah.
John did, yeah.
John did, yeah.
I know, it's, you know, you
Hey,
can't see.
if it's right, if it's what you need.
Right, I think you guys have this,
Yeah, I saw it somewhere
This is in
in
your,
is the,
new business maybe.
pretty, no, it's in your individual folders, in your blue folder.
yeah, you should have,
Yeah. There we go.
Andrew, I think we're all set for you.
Great, thank you very much. Be okay if I share my screen?
Absolutely.
All right.
I do have the selectmen do have the letter and the handout that came along with that letter. They have copies of that, so.
Okay. I have, this is a bit updated. So can everyone see my screen okay?
Yes.
Great. Let me just put this in presentation mode. You can see it. Great. So thanks for your time. I'm the founder of Kearsarge Energy. Started about 16 years ago. we're one of the larger developers or what's called independent power producers on the East Coast. We've got about 300 megawatts of solar and energy storage projects developed. We are very different than a lot of other developers, excuse me, in that we don't have any outside capital, which allows us to be very flexible. New Hampshire is one of our key states now. We have offices in Boston and Hudson and Rhode Island. And we start development as soon as we get letters of intent. This focus tonight is on the opportunity for group net metering. We had the first and largest group net metering project. There are a couple others now that have grown. Excuse me, sorry. In Manchester, we've also been awarded 12 million kilowatt hours under group net metering from Manchester as well. We've had recent public contract awards in Concord, Pelham, Hudson, Bow, Littleton, Farmington, Ashland. That's where they would develop projects. And then we have projects where we just sell group net metering. So we have a large portfolio right now, of pipeline we're looking for municipalities who want to get these savings, and I'll explain that in a little bit. And we've done this consistently throughout New England and New York as well. We work very closely with utilities. And as I said before, we're long-term local owners, which really makes a difference in that we're not going out and selling these projects after you develop them. We're building them for the length of the projects, which could be 20 years, 30 years or more. And we develop all the projects we own, and we respond to any issues with the operations and maintenance. So the focus on this is the group net metering program, which was set up in New Hampshire, which basically allows for public entities to save money tied to energy usage. There's no investment or outlay from Canterbury. There's no use of your land. There's no property or town services required. There's no change to your electricity service, electricity supplier, or if you work as part of a community power aggregation. It's pretty simple. Credits are assigned to your utility accounts up to 80 or 95% of the town's kilowatt usage. You don't want to go too high in case you drop down. And you get a payment from Kearsarge monthly tied to the project's generation. It's what we call guaranteed savings, because if the net metered price right now is around 10 cents, and we're offering 10%, you're going to get that no matter if it goes up to 14 or 15, or if it goes down to 7 or 8. And I think there's a floor because the way it's built and tied to basically the supply price. So you have guaranteed savings. You're never what we call underwater. And it allows you to continue to buy from any of the supply side. Eversource is charging you for transmission and distribution, but it allows you to buy from anyone so that if prices go lower, you can get a lower price overall. So basically, one way to look at it is it just looks like it's a credit that appears. In the future, Eversource may put that directly on your bill, but you're never billed for the portion that you'd pay to Kearsarge before you get the credits. So you're never out cash. So this is just a summary of how it works. So you've got a host, which would be Kearsarge. There's a group net metering agreement, and this is taken from the PUC presentation. And whether it's municipal or school buildings or businesses, the way it works with businesses, they have to have the project on site. When you're a public or a municipality, you can take the net meter credits from anywhere within your utility zone. And it's the same with residential customers. If you want to do this, you have to have the project on your land. So looking at approximately your usage of about 350,000 kilowatts, if we assumed in this example, it's 90%, the value of the credit, assuming it's at 10.06, you have a slight escalation of about 1.5%. The value of the credits, would be 31,700 for total. At a 10% discount, Canterbury would keep 3,200. And the cumulative payments over 20 years would be $77,000 with no risk. So this is just an example of how the program works. If you had more usage, we'd love to give you more, but without only a usage of approximately 350,000, you wouldn't see that much more. We have a series of projects and we're going out, and Manchester, as I said, has taken 15 million, but we have a couple other projects open right now, including Hinsdale, Conway. Stratford would be the project that would be operating next year. That's 6 million kilowatt hours left. We've sold a couple to Stratford itself. And that would be the one that we'd offer to you, and it's first come, first serve. So that's sort of a quick overview how it works. This is just an example from the Eversource bill where this would come up, and you'd see total credits, what percentage you're purchasing. You're technically purchasing 100%, but you're only keeping 10%. And that's how the program works. So that is, unless there's some questions, a quick overview. And we're working with many different towns, offering them this same opportunity. And if this is something you'd want to pursue, we would then send you our power purchase agreement. You could review it, but it's similar to every one that we offer to all different towns throughout the state. The time commitment we ask for is 20 years. However, if the program changes, you can get out of this at no cost. But for us, we need, in terms of financing, a 20-year term. So that's the quick summary. And then maybe I can answer questions, how it works.
Is here.
I figured. Fred, I assume you came tonight
Just
for.
to listen in,
Yeah, okay, so no questions?
I might have questions, but we're on Unitil, Eversource.
Yeah.
If that.
Yeah, I mean, you can email me or I can do calls if you have questions later on. We're trying to move this along just because we want to, we'll start construction at Stratford probably in the first quarter of next year, depending on weather, March, April time period. And it'll take us about 3 to 4 months to have it operating. So you start seeing credits probably next summer in terms of timing. The key with these projects, as you probably know, is the interconnection. Because a lot of people have tried to do these projects, and with the infrastructure, it's gotten very difficult. So if we get a cost to interconnect to the utility that's too expensive, the numbers don't work. So that's the challenge. And we've basically been ahead of many other developers because we started this 4 years ago. And Eversource is a bit slow in trying to put these things, the interconnection, doing the studies, figuring out safety and reliability and how it will work. So these projects are ahead of most other projects, if not all of them.
So, our town is split in half between Eversource and Unitil, but all of our municipal buildings are in the Unitil, area. How's that?
Well, that's actually fortunate for you because we have a Unitel project in Concord that will be ready sooner.
Okay.
Um,
So
and
that's
so-
where we would have to, that's where we would have to get our credits from instead of the Stratford project?
yeah, you can't, I didn't realize it was split, but you get them all from Unitel then. So we should give you that one. On that project, the town of Concord schools are taking approximately 6 million kilowatt hours. So we could slot you in on that. We have about 1.5 million left, but we could slot you in on that one. That's not a problem.
And what's the delivery time on that?
That's sooner. That one, we will have it operating, by the end of March of next year.
So can I ask a question?
Yeah,
Um, Is there any complication of the fact that every one of our municipal buildings has its own Unitil account? So how do
No.
those process?
So we just allocate pro rata to each of the buildings.
okay. So we have a, energy committee, that we look to for advice on a lot of these.
Mm-hmm.
I think Fred was on the energy committee, then he went to community power, so, he's fairly well versed in this. I think, I don't wanna speak for the selectmen, but I think we would seek advice from our energy committee / community power committee, on doing something like
Yeah.
this.
Well, yeah, and you know, we certainly, if we don't have them already, all the slides you just presented at great speed, which is hard to digest in this form.
Oh,
would
I
have-
apologize.
No, that's all right, but certainly I'd wanna be able
Yeah.
to.
I'll send that along, not a problem at all. And we normally work with energy committees on some of the ones, for example, in Bow that we're building on an old landfill or Hudson, and we start with the energy committee, then it goes to the Board of Selectmen. When you're just looking at buying the power, it's a little bit of an easier path, but I'd be happy to come up in person. If there wasn't a marathon today, I would have come up, but the traffic's been, it's just crazy this year because it's the anniversary of Paul Revere's ride. So there's been more people in town than usual. But I'd be happy to meet with the Energy Committee, Fred, if you'd like in person. We can do that anytime you like, whenever your next meeting is.
Okay,
Cool,
yeah,
yeah, that sounds good.
I have your contact and Malcolm's contact, so I will get together with the energy committee and, chat with them and throw out a couple dates for you.
All right, that would be perfect. Thank you.
Yeah,
Alright,
and as soon as we can get the information to look at again, that'd be grand.
All right, not a problem. Sounds good.
alright, thank you.
All right, thanks. Take care. I'll update this with the information from the Concord Unitel project.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Have a good night then. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a lot of information. And part of it, part of my well, I wouldn't say hesitation, but something I think about is, okay, you make a 20-year commitment, okay, if the program changes, we can get out of it, but who determines what it changes? And I'd wanna know a lot more about that, too, before we get stuck for 20 years.
Yeah.
And who else has been using the program already? And they said they started 4 years ago. Is the company just 4 years old?
No, 17 years ago was when they started.
Oh, they said, okay.
So they're just selling net metering essentially.
Their,
They're the
their
middleman.
projects are producing more energy than is used by the property owner, so that way they get to sell part of their energy that they, to municipalities.
Yeah, they're the
Yeah.
big broker to Eversource or Unitil, and then they're getting their tax credits, and they pass it on to you.
Alright,
Well, it sounds like it could work.
yeah,
Good.
it's certainly an interesting idea.
Yeah.
Definitely bears looking into further.
Yeah.
Alright, Ken, what do you think, wanna continue on with,
Yeah, we wanna finish up the
Yeah.
signing stuff?
kinda what I thought.
Ken, this is a silly question, that was Mr. Bliss himself, correct?
No, no, he could not make it, that was Andrew Bernstein, that is, one of their CEO, I believe.
Okay, thank you.
Alright. Next item is a yield tax levy for 101 Old Tilton Road, Kate,
Map 238, Lot
yeah,
12.
thank you. Although this is larger font, I should have not missed that.
Maybe you need to get your glasses checked.
I don't, I swear.
We'll start.
Just saying, just a little.
Put little sticky pointers on it.
Actually, Kathy and I were just talking yesterday about, as we age, suddenly it seems like your vision can change rapidly. It's definitely not
Get ready, Calvin.
I eat carrots.
eat more, my friend. It's hard to fight Father Time.
Ah, come on, you wusses. There's the line, Paul.
Thank you.
Thanks. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yep.
Alright, next is a veteran's tax credit for municipal tax map 255 lot 7. We've got the application with a DD 214 attached. And Ken, we really don't need to do anything else with that, right?
Just sign it.
Yep.
Says on the agenda there was 2 lots there. There's 255 lot 7 and, or is there
It's the second application.
second application, okay.
Gotcha, okay. Two places in there. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Alright, second application is another veterans tax credit, tax map 263 lot 22, accompanied by ADD 214 as well.
Just let everybody know we're doing veterans dollars at the market again this year.
Thank you. Alright, and it looks like the last item, we actually voted on at our last meeting. It was a approved abatement, and it's just a form that Mandy did not include in, so she apologizes and it's for lot 204, excuse me, tax map 204, lot 13, in the amount of $748.44. And it looks like we just gotta sign, I think, on the first page. I see all our paperwork from the last.
That's everything, yeah.
Yeah.
It's cramping us,
Think that brings us
I do my
to
signature if
that.
I stop halfway through.
Mr. Arnett is here, or,
Mr. Odette,
yes,
why don't you come on up, have a seat up here.
this is for the new business for
Yep.
the.
Yep. So why don't we'll jump to that. How are you?
Sure.
That's another thing that comes with aging, I think, so.
I think it's more dangerous.
Has everybody had a chance to look at the vacations that went out?
Yes.
Okay.
We don't have a copy of them here though, right? Just so I make sure so I don't
There
start
is a
rustling.
copy in the red folder, new business.
Under new business?
That
Yep.
is the paper copy of what was scanned and sent to everybody.
Okay.
So if you need to reference.
Alright, so Mr. Audette, you've got a parcel on New Road that's 141 acres.
How about you?
Correct, that abuts me. And at some point, 2004, 2005, the town was converting tax cards from, it looks like paper to probably computer. And the lot was entered and coded as buildable, even though it wasn't. So 2006, Canterbury had a revaluation and your property was assessed as billable at $123,996. That year you filed an abatement application which was granted, correct?
That was for my house, I believe, not that lot.
Not that much, okay. Okay, yeah, alright. So 2011, 2016, 2021, the town performed revaluation of all properties, sent new value letters, held taxpayer hearings. The average assessment of the subject lot over that time period was $79,381. And then it looks like in 2024, did you try to sell the parcel?
I had what?
Did you try to sell the parcel?
Yes,
Yep, and that's sort of what triggered all this, right?
that's right, yeah.
Yep, okay.
Kid next door wants to bite, nice kid.
Gotcha. Alright, here, I'll give you guys that just to refresh your memories.
No, this is. No, I read through this, if you read
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
Do we have a copy of Mandy's letter in there too, or do we have you emailed that to us, correct?
That was the very front of it.
Is that the very first?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't see that, okay,
Right there.
yeah. I'll read that again when you're done. Oh, I got it.
Yeah, see. Good. Alright, so Mr. Odell, you're looking for what then from the select board?
The money back,
Okay,
makes sense? And they've overpaid probably around 40,000. And I'm not expecting that.
so it looks like Mandy's corrected your 2024 assessment, right?
Yeah, kind of. It's not quite what you told me, but
Okay, difference in the amount or
say it again?
difference in the amount?
Yes.
What, how big a difference? I'm just
She told me
curious.
that I'd be paying like around $120 a year, cause it's in current use,
Okay,
and I think she's up around close to 500 still. I think. Right,
Okay.
I'm looking at it right.
I don't think we have that,
They don't have the tax.
yeah, here.
Do you need me to pull it up?
Yeah, we'd have to look at the tax card and then, do the valuation that the taxes due on it. Cause I don't know that if you get into Sam's. I don't know if you can get into Sam's.
Evidently, this is something that hasn't happened before.
Yeah, not in my time anyway. So I guess the logical question is when you got your tax bills,
Yep,
did you look at them?
yes,
Okay, and you didn't file anything for years though?
no, I didn't, I just thought taxes went up or whatever.
Okay,
Couldn't really tell you why I didn't complain about it. Plenty about it now though. I had no idea about this until that kid went and checked. And I'm guessing it was probably, actually, my neighbor right now is having not really a problem with the guy that built the house on the pond. Got the barn on the pond.
Yeah.
He wants a right of way, he thinks there's a right of way there. And my neighbor checked and his lawyer said there's no right of way there, he has none. And he said that was taken out like years ago, they got rid of the right of ways.
yeah,
And that was all one piece, mine and his and everybody, yours probably, no, not yours, I don't
No.
think, but all the ones on my road were.
yeah, yeah,
And I'm guessing that when they did that, they got rid of all these old things, at the same time.
yeah,
So mine shouldn't have even been there,
Yeah.
I'm thinking that too. I didn't check, I didn't hire a lawyer to go.
yeah. Questions or comments from other board members?
I do have a question about Mandy's, you're on New Road, right, Mr. Audette?
Correct.
New Road, just reading through, Mandy's input, our assessor's input, that we meet with you and, provide you an opportunity to establish good cause for abatement. What would good cause look like? I mean, it's one thing to say, I think you should owe me this money, but how might we go about looking at a
So.
legal good cause?
Usually what the town does, if the town has made a mistake on evaluation of property and the abatement is filed for that tax year, then the town will look at the abatement request and look at the valuation. That is, if our assessor made a mistake, if property values changed, if the market changed, then the selectmen would look at those factors and determine whether abatement should be granted or not.
But that's in the year that,
That's in the typical tax, the one tax year. I've never seen an instance like this come through, where people have said, well, our property was assessed at this classification for 20 years or whatever, and now they want money back. That's never come up. I think from the assessor's point of view, and I don't wanna, no disrespect to you, but from the assessing and the town standpoint is, there's a personal responsibility when you get a tax bill to look at it and make sure it's right. And if you don't know, you don't know from your standpoint, but unfortunately, I think the towns look at it, other municipalities have looked at it and said, well, you know, you have the opportunity to check with your assessor to see if everything's correct on your tax bill. But again, this is all up to you guys to.
I have a tendency to trust what you guys are doing, you know?
Yeah, no, I get it,
Maybe I shouldn't.
I usually look at mine pretty closely, so.
And typically what happens is when there's a revow is when people will have a question about
Yeah,
if there's any question in people's mind, when there's a revow on property, that's typically when something like this would show up.
when do our revals usually occur? We just had one recently, but are they like every 5 years or?
Yeah, every 5 years, I think we run 6 at times, but usually every 5 years,
So there's been like 3 revals since
yes.
this has happened.
Yeah.
Yep, 2011, 2016, 2021.
There's no driveway on the property, nothing, it's just a piece of vacant land.
No, there's a right of, it's not a right of way, there's an opening on the road. And back when I subdivided, the town had changed these 50-foot right of ways, you needed 300 feet now. But it was actually approved for a road by the road agent, the old guy, not you. He said, that he could turn that into a road, and I have no intention of doing that, so. Right now, it's just goes up to the log landing right now, and I use it to get in and out from my property,
Gotcha.
I broke through the ice on the way to your house one day, I was going to check that back corner out,
Yep,
and I broke through the ice, the beavers dammed up,
yep,
and they flooded the whole, my part.
I've noticed, yeah.
Did you see my tracks going to your house?
No, actually,
This was a few years ago, actually.
okay.
I was soaked and stuff, and I wasn't gonna go back across the ice.
Oh,
So
you
I
were on
drove-
an ATV that day?
Yes, I drove up to your house and I knocked on the door, I
Yeah.
thought, nobody here. So I actually drove back down the road, I wasn't gonna go
Yep.
back over the ice.
Yeah, yeah,
There's a story for everything.
yeah.
Well, this is difficult because I feel we've had, a couple of similar situations like this where a situation has gone on for a really long time. And, now we're at this point in time and you look back and you say, well, I don't like it, but it seems like there were a lot of opportunities to change it. Maybe not in 2006 and 2009 when it happened, but at least during the several other abatements or any one of the tax bills.
That just seemed like
Since
that was the bill to me when I was getting it, it was pretty close to the same every year,
But
Actually, they were
high.
higher then, they've come
But
down,
high.
they've come down, they must have done a reval and,
Yes.
cause they were
Yeah.
over 2,000 for a while.
Yeah.
Now they're just under 2,000.
Yep, that was 2021,
Right.
yeah.
I think it might have been sooner than that even. Might have been sooner than 2021.
Yeah.
No, I think it was 2021,
Yeah?
when the last
So the
one was,
last few
yeah,
months, yeah.
yeah, because we're about due for another one,
Yeah.
so, yeah.
So how do we proceed from here? What's the best way?
Is there an amount on there? I don't believe you did an amount, did you?
I didn't request an amount.
I think that would be the logical step, is to
Look at the
determine,
numbers, yeah.
is to see, is there an amount, what the amount is, and then, try and come up with a.
Well, that makes it easier to think about it, to
Yeah.
know the
I
number
think that would
and-
give you a chance.
I don't need a number right now, you guys can come up with something.
So why don't we do
Yeah.
this, can you come back to our next meeting?
Yeah, I can, but I hate to, but I can't. This is not my bag at all.
Believe me, I know what you mean, But what I think we can do is we'll have Mandy get us a number. We'll communicate that with you as well,
Okay,
and then come back and let's talk.
okay,
Um,
yeah. And they called me Thursday to set this up, was that
Yeah.
probably you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you called me late, I didn't get it till late, so I didn't get back to you, and Friday you weren't there.
Doesn't like the numbers
And
are
today I
gonna
spent
come
half
back.
the day at the hospital, so.
maybe,
Um,
yeah,
so if we schedule you for the next meeting, we could put you on.
Deaf too.
Huh?
I'm deaf.
Oh, sorry. I could put you for 6 o'clock at the next meeting, that way you're the very first person, so
Okay,
you
that's
can
cool.
get in and get
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
I'll write that down.
yeah,
Write it down.
So the next meeting is in a couple of weeks, right?
2 weeks,
Yeah, okay,
yeah,
It's May 5th.
good,
yeah, and that'll give us all time to kind of think on this.
Yeah.
We'll get the amount and then we'll talk,
okay, that sounds good,
yeah,
thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
I wanted to talk to him again too,
Ah,
about the school.
Oh, I'm off that board.
No, you're on this one now.
I'm on this one, I graduated.
out of the frying pan into the fire.
Yeah, that's they put me in too. They're riding up and down the driveway with their dirt bikes instead of in the back.
Got it.
Anyway,
Good
bye
night.
guys.
Thank
Thank you.
Alright,
What's his first name, please?
Louis.
Louis.
Louis. Alright, I'll give that, cause that's our only copy, so.
Yeah, I'll give it to you, and
Yeah.
then we can put it in I have a note here, I'll talk to Mandy and.
Yeah.
And those reval dates that you were reading, that was right from the document, right? That's right in there, so.
Yes.
Okay.
That is, yes, that's correct, yep,
Good.
yeah, that was actually, Mandy's letter, I think,
Mandy's
is a
wrote that, yeah.
very complete synopsis of everything.
Yeah, Mandy does a good
Yeah.
job.
But I think that's a good idea, we'll see what the numbers.
Typically, the taxpayer will present the number that they'd like to be,
Yeah,
get for an abatement, and
Yeah.
then you guys decide, is that fair, is it not, do you
Yeah.
want to, do you not?
okay,
That's usually how
Yeah.
it works.
well, we'll give Mr. Audette some time to think on that number and we'll go from there.
Is the only resolution a payment back, or could it be applied as a tax credit?
I don't know,
I didn't know
I
there's
don't
rules to
Good
abatements.
question.
I don't know.
So nobody has to put money out of pocket if it comes to that?
Yeah, I mean, if you're
Yeah.
paying 10 grand a year in taxes, you could have a 3 to 4 year credit potentially, which,
Have to ask the tax collector.
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yeah. All I know is it took me a few years to figure out that I could put my property into current use. And so for a few years, I paid full price on that property until I said, oh, my responsibility to
yeah.
figure it out and
Yeah.
um, it is tough, but
Alright, before we go on to minutes, why don't we also, you wanna talk about Shell Meeting House?
Sure.
Yeah,
I sent you the email from
yes,
the road agent, which was from a gentleman, and I don't even know if he's a resident. But anyway, had some questions about Shell Meeting House Road, whether it was discontinued or not. There's a gate on it, on the Shaker Road side, and the gate is locked. And apparently he had been using it,
I think he mentioned he'd been doing some kind of maintenance on it.
yeah, picking up sticks,
Yeah.
picking up sticks with his grandchildren or
Yeah.
something. So anyway, so this goes back to the whole discontinued road issue.
Yep.
And I know Beth was in today and we talked a little bit about this. And Beth, I went through this list here,
yeah,
and there's actually only 17 roads right now that are discontinued.
okay,
That from this list, because if you start looking at it, some latter ones were, turned to class 6 road. It was subject to gates and bars, which is class 6.
Right.
Discontinued roads aren't subject to gates and bars, they're discontinued. Class 6 roads are subject to gates and bars. So there's really only 17 roads here, but
okay,
and this is from research that Wayne Mann did, several years ago. Went through a whole bunch of, town reports going back as far as 1905 and found roads that have been discontinued at town meetings. Kind of just refresh everybody's memory, when a town discontinues a road, there are certain things they have to do, can only be done at town meeting. And, prior to, I believe it was 1960 or right around there, if the road went from one municipality to the other, that road, that discontinuance had to be approved at the Superior Court level. If it was within the town borders, it didn't have to, however, the town is supposed to notify the abutters to those roads.
After town meeting, after it's voted to be.
After it's town, if it passes, the abutters are notified, and, that property goes back to the abutters. We have no records from any of these town meetings, where the roads are discontinued, that any of that took place, whether it was a road that went into another municipality or whether it was a road within the town. We have no records indicating whether, anybody was notified after these roads are discontinued. So we had a road committee that was in 2018-19, of selectmen's representatives, the road agent, and a surveyor, and a couple long-term residents in the town, myself, the assessor. We started looking into this and, contacted, our town council. And after several meetings and discussing this back and forth and looking at different minutes from different town meetings, it was, that committee advised the Board of Selectmen at the time, that it would be best to consider all of these discontinued roads still town roads. And take on a case-by-case basis if people felt otherwise, and let someone else prove it. The onus would be on somebody to prove that that road was discontinued and all the steps were taken, whether it went through Superior Court or whether it was letters or some kind of communication from the town to their abutters.
Could I just, for one second, when you say, still town roads, just to be clear, you mean still town roads, class 6 roads,
They would be unmaintained. Any road that's not
Unmaintained.
maintained by the town
class 6,
is a class 6 road.
okay,
It's not maintained for 5 years.
correct.
Even though it contradicts our road maps,
Pardon me?
even if it contradicts.
Even if
the
it
way
contradicts our road maps. Our road maps are just that, they're maps. That information comes from the town and the state, and that's based typically on the records. However, if the town votes to do something at town meeting and it's an illegal vote, or if the town doesn't follow up on what was voted on, then it's not considered a binding vote. And that's from our legal department. So if the town didn't follow up, or we have no proof that the town followed up, the town can, and again, we met with town council. We had several people on this committee, and that was the opinion. We went to the Board of Selectmen. I have minutes from, let's see. November 4th, 2019. Ken, that was me, explained that the roads committee met, the consensus of the meeting was that any of the roads voted on as discontinued should be considered class 6 roads, unless it says the town absolutely gives up any interest on the road when voted upon. Since that determination, the committee no longer has a mission and has disbanded. Art Hudson was one of the Board of Selectmen at the time, stated they are fortunate to have the expertise of the people that sat on the committee. On November 13th, 2019, Wayne Mann attended. He was a member of that committee and asked for clarification on the board's decision about discontinued roads. The board accepted the opinion of the road committee to treat roads that had been discontinued by warrant articles at previous town meetings without proper legal terminology as Class 6 roads. The board still feels this is the correct approach. Wayne thanked the board for their time. And then on November 7th of 2020, there was a question about Sawyer's Ferry Road, which was one of the roads. It came up at a selectmen's meeting, and this had to do with some log cutting that was going on out there. And the Conservation Commission had a couple of questions, and at that time, Bob Steenson, one of the Board of Selectmen, Bob said that all of the Class 6 discontinued roads are still town roads, and any landowner contesting that has to prove it. So those are the minutes from the selectmen's meetings from 2019 and 2020. There is another email reference particularly to Shell Meeting House Road. Mark Stevens, who was on the committee, wrote in an email to the committee back in November of 2019. Had to do some research at State Archives for a client this morning. While I was there, I pulled original records on 2 discontinued roads that we talked about at the meeting, Ames Road and Shell Meeting House Road. I made copies and will drop them off to Canterbury. The interesting thing is that the final language in the minutes does not match exactly with the language in the proposed warrant article. Anyone looking at the article in the town reports and noting only that the vote passed could be misled. At a quick first glance, which we looked into in more depth, it appears to me that the portion of the road proposed to be discontinued got lengthened by an amendment motion from the floor. So, as you can see, there was confusion even after the town meeting. But
What year was that, Ken?
that was in 2019 that Mark Stevens, this was November 8th, so this was during the time our road committee was meeting. And we have minutes from the committee meetings that we discussed all of this.
But the 8th is before the time that the select board then decided to go with the recommendation.
What the recommendation from the committee was.
Yeah.
We also have 2 letters from the Board of Selectmen, one dated November 13th, 1985. And this is to the Cruzels that own the house on the Hackleboro Road side of end of Shell Meeting House.
Yeah.
And this says, sirs, in response to the request from Paul Cruzels, this is the public service company of Canterbury, this letter is to clarify the status of Shell Meeting House Road. This road is an unmaintained Class 6 town road. And then in 1994, the clerk of the board sent a letter to the Cruzels that says, and this was, they had requested the town to plow Shell Meeting House. And it says here, your request to plow Shell Meeting House Road was discussed. In reviewing the status of the road, they found that the road was discontinued in 1928 at the annual town meeting. In your file is a Class 6 road agreement that forever releases and discharges the town from maintaining the road. So, again, there's conflicting stuff all through this. It's other than that the committee, the attorney, and the select board at the time in 2019 felt that the roads that we talked about should still be town roads until, and the thought was that at some point in the future, the town can go back and bring up at current town meetings that these roads were discontinued in 1928. We don't know if it was done legally. We'd like to put this to bed and we wanna discontinue this road at the 2026 town meeting. And then the town would follow up and do everything, make sure all the paperwork was submitted that should be submitted. That was what the committee had talked to the Board of Selectmen about at the time in 2019, however, that was never followed up on.
I mean, today after I came in and spoke to you this morning, I reached out to a couple places. Superior Court for their records and Merrimack County. and everybody pointed me towards the archives.
Right.
And then with the caveat of all of our records pre-82 being at the archives. I think before we can make a decision on this one way or the other, I think it would be smart for us, because I think the only reference to the archives was Mark Stevens, and that was tangential to working for a client, right?
Right, this information came from the archives, the Wayne Mann, letter came from the archives. He went to the archives and did all the research and basically wrote down the date of the town meeting, the warrant article, and whether it was voted to discontinue or not.
Cause the archivist, I don't know what you call them, who work there, I don't know if that's the proper term for them.
Yep.
Recommended searching for certain types of documents that might not necessarily jump out at you, that would connect. I guess the way I stand on it, and I've said this before, is in my eyes, if it's discontinued, it's echoed on a map, it's everywhere, in my eyes, it's discontinued. But if we're saying it's not, then I think we need to exhaust all options of looking at information, not just relying on town meeting reports, because there is other information out there. If it did go to Superior Court, or it went to something, there should be some track of it somewhere, we just need to look for it. So,
But the committee at the time seemed to do due diligence with the,
Yeah, and I guess the way the committee felt about that was, you're absolutely right, however, who's going to do that?
I'll do it.
Well,
I mean,
that was the
point is-
thing,
the point is,
we
if we're-
needed a person that had the time, to go back and do all the work. And at the time, we didn't, none of the committee members felt they had the time to do it. And the select board at the time didn't authorize me to spend my time doing that or any of the staff, so.
Cause I just feel it's such a big issue that it comes up, rinse, wash, repeat, every 3 to 10 years, this comes up, this comes up, this comes up. And it's like we start coming up the track to solve it, and then it's, I ran out of time, then you go right back down to the bottom. So it's either we need to put a vested interest into resolving this problem, or you just say they're all discontinued, we honor it and move on, like, that's the thing, we can't have it
well, we
one way or
wouldn't say
another.
all
no,
discontinued,
but I'm
we'd say
saying-
all class 6.
But it's, if you
Well,
look
here-
at the maps, and what I'm saying is, if you look at the maps, they've all got different classifications,
Right.
discontinued to bars and gates, discontinued, class 6 roads. Like, there's all these different classifications that have upheld on the different road maps and build outs and plans. So in my eyes, there was some you don't just put it on a map if it wasn't brought, you know what I mean?
But here's my point is that the committee at the time, who, if you know any of the people on the committee, didn't just say, we're just gonna discontinue it. They did due diligence, they went to the archives, they had a lawyer, they had a surveyor, they had a, whoever. At that time, they made a good determination, and then it came back up to the select board who said, okay, we're going to say all those discontinued roads, yes, they were done improperly. At the time, the town didn't follow through, but now, at this date and this time, we're going to clear the deck and say, okay, these roads are now class 6 unmaintained town roads. Since that time, how many people have come forward to say foul?
This is the second one.
This is the second one in how many years? So
5 years,
In
6
5
years,
6 years.
6 years.
So I don't know, people still have the opportunity.
I mean, I
to do
guess
that?
if I'm seeing, where is it, this list, right? This is the report from 1990. If I'm reading this is from Wayne Mann. If I
Yeah.
could see, right, annual meeting 1905, Article 3.
Yeah.
I wanna see a blurb that says, tried to search archives, found nothing. I want to know that we've exhausted the efforts to find the documents. Because if these roads are class 6 or discontinued, that has a big impact on future development of the town.
Yes, either
Right,
way,
what you can and cannot develop.
yes,
But if we can
Agreed.
put this to bed and be done with it, then we can focus our energies on what we can and cannot do.
So
I guess I just need more proof other than a blurb from a town meeting, just article passed, yes, no. There's gotta be more information out there.
So I think tonight we're gonna deal with Shell Meeting House, period. I think that's a much larger discussion with financial repercussions, that we can have at a different date. The last one we did was bad enough.
Wide road.
It really just kept, it was like peeling an onion, I guess, is is maybe the best way to say it, so. I certainly agree we need further research on this one, but I don't wanna turn this into a referendum on class 6 versus discontinued versus whatever else is potentially there. I think we need to deal with this specific complaint tonight, well, not even tonight. I'm gonna suggest if you're willing to do research, go for it, but I don't want us to go any further than that.
What is the person who filed the complaint actually looking for?
The gate is locked from the Shaker Road end. And, the email just says that they used to have access, now the gate's locked and they can't get in. And they're asking why.
Gotcha. John, is that one of the ones that you would have driven in your inspections?
There's no road waiver, well, there's a road waiver on this end.
Off the Hackleboro
Yeah,
side,
yeah.
but it's not on my list.
So there's nothing stopping this person from driving up to the gate and walking around and walking on the road if they chose to? Just, that's the most minimum access, correct? They can do that?
Yep.
Correct?
Yeah.
Who has gated it,
The Mees have gated it.
okay?
I believe they put quite a bit of money into rebuilding a stone bridge down there too.
Gotcha.
So do you want me to read the email to you guys
Which email? From,
from the person asking?
I think we already have it, right?
Yeah,
That-
didn't you
Yeah.
send it out?
Yep. Yeah, he and his grandkids would keep the roads free from fallen trees, for years. They typically access off Shaker and go over to Baptist Hill, which doesn't have a gate. He talked with, the state, cause they maintain Shaker Road there, Canterbury PD, and they suggested reach out to the road agent, regarding the lock.
Yeah.
He said, I have no issues with the gate, as there are many other class 6 roads, so lock the abutters like to put on to restrict access, which they cannot do, please advise as soon as you can.
Did anyone suggest he talk to the Mees themselves who put up the gate?
I communicated with him and told him that we would be meeting tonight, and you would be discussing it. I did not
Okay.
do anything else.
So we also should have, I guess, part of the discussion is, why the Mees gated it and locked the gate, because subject to gates and bars, if it is,
So a class 6 road can be subject to gates and bars, however, those gates and bars cannot be locked.
correct, so
And
why did they?
typically, it's the town that puts a gate or a bar up.
Right, so I guess we would have to find out why they felt they could put a lock on a gate that previously had not been locked.
I know from a discussion with Tyson Miller, previous board of selectmen planning board, he had a discussion with the Mees and they felt that they own the road.
Due to it being discontinued.
I would assume so.
I'm just,
That would be my guess.
okay. Do they have any deeded proof stating that?
I don't know.
I think if they believe that and they put the gate up, that at the moment, they need to prove why they're doing that, I think that's an important part of the discussion, and that might help. Maybe they've already done the research that you're looking for. So, I mean, if the problem is the lock, I think we need to talk to the people who put on the lock.
We can do that. I can ask them to provide us. I mean,
But John didn't put
again,
on the
this
lock,
is-
so hopefully.
This is where it comes down to. If the town feels it's a class 6 road, then it should not have a lock gate on it. And if it does, then the town says to whoever locked it, you know, why did you put a lock on it? And prove to the town that it's not a town road anymore. So this would be similar to what happened with Wyven Road,
Correct,
where that group of people said that that road was private, and it went back and forth, and then they finally brought what the board felt was substantial proof that it was a private road.
Well, and that's, the proof or the evidence or the archives or the whatever, I think is what Calvin's looking for. At least in this one instance, not the bigger instance.
I just want us to have proof on our side, because to have to put the onus on everybody makes it a royal pain in the.
Right, but why should you have to look for it, or anybody look for it, if apparently the person who put the lock on has looked for it at least to
And
convince
that's
themselves
what the
enough.
attorneys recommend.
Yeah.
Put the onus of the research on whoever feels that is a private road
Then,
instead of the town.
Yeah.
And that saves the town the research time, and
Yeah.
if they can bring in, proof that you guys feel is reliable, then okay.
I would hope that they would have that proof before they spent the money on a lock, so,
Right, well,
Culvert.
but,
or the
yeah,
culvert.
or you could look at it from whoever the gentleman is that's complaining should be willing to also do a little research and provide proof. You know,
I guess
either
from
way.
like my standpoint, it's like if we had the copy of the deed that stated it, then it would be like, yep, it is or it
Right.
isn't, have a nice day, you
Right.
know?
I guess as it stands now, Board of Selectmen in 2019 made a decision to determine these roads were public roads. Unless you guys decide otherwise, then that's where it stands right now.
So it's a public
So-
road, it can have a gate, it can't be
It
locked,
can have a gate, but it can't be locked.
so I think, again, if that's the determination, that's what we have on the books right now. I'd like to hear why they feel otherwise.
But if it takes a town meeting to discontinue them, wouldn't it take a town meeting to say that they're not discontinued? I guess, how do we have the power to overrule a town meeting vote?
As the attorney put it, the selectmen have the ability to do the research or get the research put in front of them to determine whether the road was discontinued legally or not. This is just like going to the archives and finding the evidence one way or the other. If the evidence proves that the road was discontinued and all the legal steps were taken, then the selectmen say, oh, well, okay, we got that, and they can cross that one off the list.
That one.
Of the list that,
At the moment.
that there's a question about. But as it stands now, there's 17 roads that are in question.
I guess if we could punt on this one till next meeting, I'll go do the research. I'll go to the archives and do it.
But I don't know if you have to, if the person who believes that they have the right to do it they must have done, one would hope they have done the research. I mean, do it if you want, there's no saying you
I mean,
can't,
I guess
but
my
I would,
perspective is,
one second, I would wanna hear from them why. And then if that doesn't satisfy you, look then, but one would hope that they've already looked. That's why they put the gate, I mean, that's not why they put the gate, that's why they put the lock. And that's the nub of it, if there's evidence and they have it, why go look for it again?
cause I'm the pessimist of this and I don't trust people to do their due diligence. So for me, I wanna see the work. I wanna be able to concretely say yes or no and not trust the goodwill of somebody else when it's in their intention to have it one way or the other. This isn't a third party coming up with the information, I guess, so.
So
I give them the chance to first, though,
to
as
me, what
neighbors.
makes the most sense is we send a letter to the Mies and basically require them to prove that it's not a class 6 road. The last official information we have is that's a class 6 road.
From 2019,
Correct,
that
from
one,
2019, and I think we're on a slippery slope, you have time now and the inclination to go research this. I don't want the town to get into the research business. This is a part-time government and no one in this room has time to go to the archives and research every complaint, so I think we need to put the burden of proof on the people that are affected here. We could certainly send a letter to the complainant advising him, but I think we need to send a letter to the Mies asking them to prove that it's not a class 6 road. And that the last information we have is that it's a class 6 road as of 2019. Does that
And I,
make
and I,
sense?
and I don't
Yeah,
discount being
yeah.
a pessimist, but I'd like to hear from them first and see what they've got. I think, as you say, the burden of proof, it's their time and their proof.
John, did you have something you wanted to add?
I'm just saying, in
Okay.
that letter, would you say that the lock needs to be removed until you can prove?
Yeah,
So I was just gonna ask, yeah.
excellent.
I think that's a good thought. Alright, it's getting late, so let's put that one to bed.
Thank you.
Alright, so why don't we do minutes? Cause I think
Yes, we do have minutes.
we've got a number of minutes. Alright, you wanna start with,
We're gonna start with the pink one, which
yep, the
is the
executive
executive
session.
section.
Fred, thank you,
Thank you.
appreciate everything, we'll
I'll be
talk.
communicating with Ruth and Beth and.
Thank you, and Ken, please.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Thank you.
thanks again.
When you get something from them,
I will send it off to you.
thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Fred, see ya. John, thank you as well, good night. Alright, so Cal, we're looking first at the executive session minutes from March 17th.
Yes.
Yep.
So there's a bunch of typos in here that I'm not gonna go over.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go over two sections that I've highlighted. On line 80, it originally said made up, but created is a more
Yep.
accurate word.
Understood,
And
I'd agree.
then, on line 139, the phrasing made it sound like I was going to go move with somebody. So
you all consider
the
that?
suggestion was rephrasing it so that it does not say that.
Understood,
And I believe those are the only two substantial corrections to those minutes.
alright, anybody have anything else for those minutes? Okay, then I'm gonna make a motion that we accept those as amended.
Seconded.
All those in favor? Aye? Alright, and
You wanna hand them all
yeah,
down?
if you wanna pass them through, that way we can.
Oh, this is,
Yeah,
this
this
is.
is
These
the
are
executive session.
executive,
Yep, sorry,
so.
we didn't have our little name in red on the corner,
Oh, I forgot to do that.
sorry. I wrote on green, in green, sparkly.
Cal, do you wanna deal with the next executive session?
I put them in chronological order,
Okay,
if that's okay.
if you're, absolutely.
Alright,
Alright, so we're looking now at the minutes from April 7th, 2025.
yes. So those ones, again, we have, little typos. On line 67 is the first substantial correction. It said Beth explained that she found the mission statement for the SWC, corrected to, she asked for a copy of the SWC mission statement, so it's mostly the asked
Yeah,
versus
okay,
found.
yeah.
And then, I think, yes, okay, so on line 245 is the other non-grammatical, suggestion, which is inserting a sentence saying that Ken will be the general contractor on this project.
Yeah.
And that's it for those ones.
Alright, on those minutes, anything else for anyone?
No,
Okay,
enough for me, Cal,
Oh, good.
alright, then I make a motion to accept them as amended.
seconded.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye. Aye.
Alright, and those we can,
No, I said, I swear.
And you can
You were
keep those.
thinking it really loudly.
those we can keep, right?
Okay.
Alright, so moving on to the executive session of April 7th.
Alright.
Cal, looks like you got a couple,
Yes, so, again, some typos. The first substantial one is line 30, changing it to say that the previous select boards had not decided to push the issue, to clarify that it's not this select board that made the decision.
Yep.
And then on line 49, changing that whole paragraph to what I've written in, which I'm not gonna say aloud because we're in
Understood,
executive
yep.
session.
yeah, I agree. Alright, does anyone have anything else for the executive session from April 7th?
No,
Alright, then I'll make a motion to accept them as amended.
seconded.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
And we need to hand those in.
I didn't write on it in green sparkly pen this time.
Alright,
Yeah.
alright, so looking now at April 15th.
Alright, so April 15th is very substantially changed, so that's why you guys have a second draft that shows the tracked changes.
Gotcha.
So the first one is on the bottom of the first page, section K. And it said, Beth feels that the onus to contact Mr. Mordarski is on Mr. Booth since he let this issue sit for so long. Change it to since it was recommended in 2003 that he follow up on this matter and he did not.
Okay.
Alright, next change is page 2, section K, so it looks like it's on line 69.
Yeah.
It was not the BMGI grant, it was the highway block grant, that was my mistake. So next is,
Now, just a question, should that be highway block grant?
it should not be highway block grant. Okay, so I will change that to,
Look at you,
thank you.
even as late as it is.
Alright, so on the third page, we have a lot of ones, so we have, these are all changes suggested by Beth to try to clarify, some of the
The tone.
things that she said, and the tone
Okay, yeah.
of the meeting that she was describing, so, the first one is D, so initially, it will read, was initially received with surprise rather than being seen as helpful. And I'm
And
gonna ask
striking what's in
for,
red
and striking, yes,
or orange.
so I'm gonna ask for an okay for each one of these sections as we go along, so is that an okay change?
Yes for me.
Okay for me, because I've suggested it, so yes.
Right, and I got a nod from Calvin, alright, so the next section is section G, and remove the things in orange, add the things in yellow, so it will read, at the meeting in question, Rich emphasized Scott's reminder that the solid waste committee serves at the pleasure of the select board. Is
And you've got
everybody okay
two
with that?
commas in there, so regardless, that's probably one,
I
of
will
I don't know if one of them.
Fix, yeah, that's grammatical, so.
Yeah.
Yep, and that's okay by me.
Okay, everybody's good with that. And then section H, changing it to they expressed concern about whether this attitude was helpful in representing the committee.
Yep.
Everybody was okay?
Yep.
Alright. And section I, adding the sentence in conversation with Ken, David expressed the solid waste committee initially. That doesn't make sense grammatically.
Yeah, it does.
It does. David expressed the solid waste committee initially unwelcoming to him, was initially.
You could if it wasn't in.
Right.
Okay, I'll add a was, but if everybody's good with that addition.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Then we have section O, striking that whole thing and changing it to read, after reading through the solid waste committee minutes from 2022, 2024, Beth got the impression that the solid waste committee didn't like that the staff at the transfer station were less concerned for change than were members of the committee.
Looks good to me.
Alright, and then the last one is Q, adding, didn't ever ask the town office for information about the solid waste committee mission statement or formation of solid waste committee after the recycling committee was disbanded.
Yep.
Okay, getting nods. Alright, last page is tricentennial update, instead of saying their website designed, or they have their website designed, it should have read, met with the website designer for the Historical Society about adding pages for them. Web pages for them, that's good with everybody.
Yep.
Then that is all the changes for that one, so I'm looking, you wanna do that?
Any other changes from anyone on these minutes? Me neither. Alright, so I'll make a motion to accept it as amended.
Seconded,
All those in favor? Aye?
these we,
Alright,
You
and
can
these
keep
we need
those.
to, right.
I
we
just
can
realized that
keep,
this is
yep.
a DAT copy.
Yes, the sharp copier,
Right, the big printer.
the big printer does not
Yeah.
take
Doesn't
long,
like.
Does that like Mars and that?
Doesn't like the water, no, it
No.
doesn't like that
Hmm.
water.
it really doesn't.
Alright, so executive session April 15th.
Yes, and those ones, it's just
Yeah.
two grammatical things, so I didn't
Okay.
even bother writing them on there.
Okay,
Okay,
If there's any other changes,
no, I read these, no,
right, this was our meeting with.
no, I have nothing.
Alright, Calvin?
No, they're good.
Alright, then I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
Seconded,
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Please pass those out.
Yep,
Oh,
you wrote on it, didn't you?
oh, now you just have an app.
Yeah, I thought you did.
Yeah, I did too.
Alright,
Alright, so that I think is all the minutes, right, Cass?
Yes.
alright. Yay.
Alright, so minutes we're set with. Alright, do we wanna talk first, the code of conduct is the next,
I do have a couple of new business items.
okay, you wanna start with those?
Sure, two short ones. One, we had a couple parking issues up at the town office.
Yep.
With events going on at the parish house, and at one point last week, our staff didn't even have a place to park. So, we've contacted the people that were running the events. They promised us to make some changes and notify their participants. I did get a price from John for parking, similar to these signs out here. Parking, no parking except for town business during business hours. They're $22.35 a piece, if that's what you guys wanna do at some point.
How many signs would we need, Ken?
Well, I looked and it would be probably 6 of them.
Okay.
So, again, the
Plus his time to put them up.
people,
Yeah.
the people that
Probably.
the people that attended, or the organizers of the event have promised me now twice that things are gonna be changed. So I don't know, I figured I'm gonna put it on your plate in case it happens,
Okay.
but I think if there's further issues, unfortunately, we're gonna have to
Yeah.
make some changes there.
I'm assuming this is becoming an issue when Sam has evening hours?
No, it's in the
Really?
morning, yeah.
Oh, no kidding?
There's an exercise class going on and.
It's
yeah,
gotten
apparently-
increasingly popular.
Apparently, we have a lot of healthy
Jeez.
people in
Yes,
Canterbury, or
yes.
people that wanna be healthy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Wow.
they're attending, so unfortunately, they're taking up all of our parking spots.
Gotcha, okay.
So we'll see what happens.
We
Okay.
said that in the interest of them being more fit and healthy, they should park further away
walk.
Walk.
and
Yeah,
walk
There you go.
to the exercise class.
Yep.
So we'll see if they take
Um,
us up on that.
All
And the
right.
next new business item is, I just wanna make you aware of a potential zoning violation at 367 Shaker Road, was the new Freedom Academy, it's now.
Behavioral, Canterbury behavioral.
Yes, yeah. So there's a potential zoning violation up there, that involves the, patient's status, of what they accept. We're gonna have the code enforcement officer look into it, came across my desk today, notified by the police department, of a change of status of the patients they're accepting, and, so we're gonna look into this. I've contacted them, I haven't heard back, so,
Okay.
but when the code enforcement officer comes in tomorrow, that's gonna be number one of his.
Yeah. Okay, and then I guess more to follow.
Yes,
When-
yeah, and I'll update
Looks
you
into
guys
Yeah,
if there's anything,
Yeah.
anything that
Okay.
you guys need to know about.
Yeah.
That's it for new business.
alright. Alright, so that brings us, why don't we talk about the code of conduct first, and Beth, I'll let you lead that discussion if you would.
I don't know what the discussion might entail until I see what anybody else weighed in on what to change, or if anybody had any thoughts about what to,
I do see
what
some,
to add. I
some
see a little bit
notes,
of
yeah.
red, which is fine.
Would it be alright if I went through?
please.
Yes,
That would be
please do.
Probably the best, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Alright, so if you've all kept it in the order that I put it in, then the code of conduct for the select board is on the top.
Yep.
And the first thing on line 5, Ken disagrees that
Good.
the select board is just creation and not administration.
That was lifted from something and I'm glad you weighed in, and how would you change it?
I would just understand the basic function is policy creation, period.
Okay?
The administration of this is typically through the town office staff.
Yep.
And if it rises to the level of you guys, then that would happen.
Right.
But
So we might
most-
be,
Most of, most of the administration is done through the staff and the committee chairs.
Yeah.
Is that, I kind of wondered if that was actually a complete enough, basic function, like policy creation, seems like we do, basically, we do more like looking at, how do you even put it? Interpreting
Well, if you look at.
town ordinances, not ordinances, but town.
Right, but if you look at it, your basic function would be to create the policy. It's up to other people to make sure the policies are enforced, unless they don't, and then it would land on your team. And in the case of elected officials, you don't have the authority to enforce it.
No, but I guess it would, I guess what I wanna say is understand policy creation and exhaustive discussion about policies after they're created and how people are following them.
You know?
But I guess that's a little too wordy, but that's the gist of it. Like everything we've done here tonight is actually
Yeah.
discussing that, but if there's no way to put that in there, then I would just leave it at that.
I think when you create policy is when you have the opportunity to discuss, what the policy is, everything that goes into it, ramifications of the policy, all that. That's when all the discussion happens, is when you're
Yeah.
creating it.
Okay. Okay, I
Alright,
still wanna add 4 sentences in there, but this is fine, good enough
alright,
at the
so
moment.
on the next page was the next feedback, which was that section 5 isn't needed because it's redundant with section 4, because town staff and town employees are kind of the same thing. And they should be treated the same way.
The only reason I had put that question in there in the beginning is that to me, town staff is Sam Lake House and town employees is like John and police and I don't know
Well,
what
you
anybody
could, you
thought
could
about.
solve that by just, under number 4, member of the board of selectmen and their relationship with town staff and employees.
Yeah,
Just add in employees,
okay,
is that?
yeah, no, that's fine, because it, again, my concern was, it's one thing to go into town offices and take up 2 hours of Cal's time asking you to make endless copies, it's another thing to go to John and say, hey, why aren't you grading this road, It's not up to me to do that, and I know you've had problem with that in the past with select
Yep.
board members who have thought it was their job to direct John. So is that adequately covered in this if we just say employees?
Yeah.
Cause I think that might have or town administrator. Oh. So that would be respecting the administrative chain of command, because it's your job to do that, not ours. But Cal, I did, if we can back up for a second, on page 1, lines 24 to 26, I did have I don't know how that sentence should have been finished, did anybody? Gesundheit, think it should be finished any other way than what I suggested?
No, no one came back with comments about that.
Okay, so we'll just put the sentence in that I have, or,
Yeah, if everybody's okay with the established administrative chain of command.
if everybody's okay with that, rather cumbersome wording.
Yeah, I think that
Yeah.
clearly communicates what it is, so.
Alright.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so then, section 6, getting rid of section 6 because it's about consequences and we discussed how this isn't really enforceable, this is how people should be acting.
Yeah.
Alright, so then that's that for that one. The code of ethics, is the next page, and the first note that I have is on line 24. See if we need to include language from points 5 of the list from Columbia Law School. Ken thinks it's unneeded. Does anybody else?
Oh, unneeded, okay.
Unneeded.
Okay. I have to go back and check and see what line.
Point five is cover
Oh, yeah.
corruption, abuse, fraud, bribery, or other violations of the law, and non-criminal conduct which violates the code's conflict of interest provisions.
Okay.
Yeah, and my reasoning for that was, I think, it really explained quite all of that in the previous lines, in those bullet points that
Okay.
above.
Yeah,
Alright, so we're gonna strike that.
that's fine.
The next feedback is on third page, so where it says anything else on line 75.
Oh, yeah.
This one is from Beth, change it to say, oh, hold on. In working for the community, a board or committee member should also be attentive to the following factors that their volunteer position requires. And moving up lines 128 and 135, that's on the next page, the section that's like, outlining responsibilities, like moving that up to there.
Great.
Alright?
Yeah.
And then,
Consequences out.
yep, removing consequences. And then it looks like we're kind of done with meeting the Columbia Law School excerpts, because 6 through 8 is consequences, or 6 through 9 is consequences, and we're not doing that. The other ones have already been covered. So then on the fourth page, so we're on line 138, expectations for alternates, change that, or not change it, but add to that, being like the expectations are you attend meetings, trainings, you read minutes, etc. And then changing line 141, professional development requirements to resources.
Yeah.
And then Beth also suggested, and this is on your last page of the thing, of your packet, is maybe adding a section for chair's responsibilities. And her suggestion was, it is the chair's responsibility to know the mission of the committee, know the rules and legal responsibilities, keep track of when members' terms expire, keep track of committee members and alternates' participation, be a sounding board for complaints to or about the committee, make sure rules and procedures are followed, help the committee to play nice so they can be effective.
Play nice. That's part of making the language less legal.
Yeah.
Alright, so if everybody's okay with those changes, all these things I'm gonna add to it and make it prettier, I didn't have time to.
And we'll look at it again.
And then you'll look at it
Yeah.
again, yes.
Yeah.
And then on the next page is the preamble that Beth had handed out at last meeting. And my question was, is this for the code of conduct for the board of selectmen, or is it for the ethics, code of ethics for everybody? Like, what is this preamble, which document is this preamble for?
I thought whichever one it could apply to both, because it does apply to all members and alternates of elected and appointed boards.
Okay.
So I would put it on both,
Put it on both, okay.
personally, because it seems to apply to all volunteers and elected people, so.
Alright, then I'll change, there was a note from last time that Scott said about, it says to contact fellow board members, but if it's a board of 3 or less, then you
Right.
can't do that, so.
Yep.
I'm going to change the wording so that it reflects that.
Yep.
And then
Makes sense.
the next page is comments on code of ethics, and this is from Ken, and we've covered most of them. I think, Ken said no on job description, I don't feel that is needed. My comment is that, that would be helpful for someone when they sign up, and we can just use NHMAs. So we
Okay.
don't need to like make a formal job description.
That was my question,
Yeah.
we're gonna do
Yeah.
a job
No, no.
description for all committees and boards.
I figured they would come up with their own, but if NHA has one, then I would just use
Yeah,
that.
at the training, I told them, go plagiarize NHMA.
Yeah,
Yes, you did.
So,
I guess the job description might be a little grandiose term for somebody who's just volunteering to help pick up sticks in the center, so.
Yeah.
Unless that is the extent of your job description.
that's pretty much it. Alright, so Ken also said, I don't think we need to include qualifications. So that was in the list of individual boards should have their own qualifications.
Okay.
Do you want qualifications? Do you not want qualifications?
The only thing is, I guess not necessarily you have to have this to be a member of the board, but these are the kind of qualifications that would be helpful. Like on the energy committee, you know, if you have a knowledge of solar and electricity and blah, blah, this would be helpful. You know,
I agree with you,
but I don't know if that makes
also,
it too,
I also have seen that we're struggling with getting
Getting
anybody
more
on some of
bodies,
these.
yeah.
I'm thinking, well, the more we put on here, it might discourage someone saying, oh, well, they have qualifications, so I shouldn't sign up. You
no,
know?
that's fine, I
Yeah,
mean, I
yeah,
think
that was
once,
my only.
I think once somebody gets to a, like at the energy committee, we just had a new member and she said, I quite frankly don't know anything about energy. And I live in a house with an oil burning furnace, but I'm interested in this and I wanna help. That's great.
Yeah.
So I think if you wanna strike the more technical sounding qualifications, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I guess I look to like when the planning board at the town meeting, planning board set up a table,
Yeah.
a big sign. We're looking for people.
Yeah, yeah.
And if the committee's, energy committee or, you know, the historic district commission or somebody is, they can do the same thing and, or advertise in
Yeah.
the town newsletter or town email. And say, you know, if you have experience with land use law, we'd like to have you come try out, see if you wanna be an alternate or
Yeah.
whatever,
But also I think you're correct that it's more important to get an interested person
Yeah.
who's willing to learn, put in the time and do, you know, like if you needed somebody to go to the archives and look up a bunch of stuff, if they have the time.
Yeah.
Or if they have the, you know, like again, the new energy member doesn't have the experience, but absolutely wants to learn and is showing up. So that's half the battle,
Huge.
so I agree, you can take those off, that's fine.
Alright, then we have comments on the Board of Selectmen Code of Conduct. Number 2, I didn't understand what number 2 was,
First,
Let's see what.
yeah, said first.
is that you?
First bullet, roles and responsibilities, last bullet, yes on language change.
First bullet, roles and responsibilities. So I think I wanted to add some kind of roles and responsibilities.
Okay,
There should, okay, understand the basic function is policy creation, and then list roles and responsibilities.
Gotcha.
okay,
You know, participate, Board of Selectmen, will be asked to be a representative to a separate committee, or multiple separate committees. You're responsible for showing up on time at the selectmen's meeting, you know, all those types of things that the selectmen do, and we'll have to come up with
that would be great. Cal, you making
a,
your.
basically a job description.
Yeah, there
Basically
you
a job
go.
description, yeah.
Your excellent notes that'll point in that section where we need to consider that
Yeah.
instead of having it at the end. Thank you, that's
Um,
helpful.
And then that was it, cause we've already gone over
Yep.
everything else, so, I will compile these things that you just said and send out a new draft and again, send new changes, and then we'll do this again next time.
Making progress.
Okay.
Thank you.
Alright,
Thank you, thanks for the edit, it's really helpful how you do editing, and you say what we have and where we need to put stuff in, that's great.
alright, does anybody have any thoughts about the land acknowledgement proposal that Evan presented to us?
We didn't get any further information from him, correct, he was gonna send us,
He did, and I did not send it along.
Okay.
That was my fault, so if you wanna wait till the next time.
we acknowledge that that's your fault, and we'll take it for next time, thank you. Yeah,
Alright,
personally, without thinking too much more about it, I wouldn't want to go the route of making an announcement in front of every meeting, which seems very cumbersome, and he said that too.
Yeah.
I think plaques at various places could be appropriate, and I don't think those big green signs, I'm going to be seeing Fred Brewster, who got the one for the Worcester Church. I don't think those are appropriate, those are
Yeah.
historical markers,
Yeah.
not proclamations, so. but as soon as we look at the rest of the stuff that Evan said.
Okay. I think that's a good place to leave it. Ken, health insurance update.
Yep, we're, I don't know if anybody saw the Concord Monitor this morning.
I did.
There's an article about New Hampshire Interlocal Trust and Pools, and I was kind of surprised to see the NH Schools is on the radar also.
Lots of left.
So we have been communicating with New Hampshire Interlocal Trust. They put us in contact with a broker. So we're communicating back and forth. We've sent a bunch of information to them. I actually had an email that I got late this afternoon from another broker that has been made aware of the issues with NHIT and potentially the Health Trust. And they reached out to see if we wanted to talk with them. So I forwarded that to Cal. We're gonna continue working on it. Say, we've sent all the information to the broker and we're waiting to hear back. We did notify all the employees,
Yeah.
that's
Thank you
been
for
done.
including us.
I think that, you know, at this point, it's we're gonna wait and see what the broker has, what they can come up with, and then we'll explore our other options.
And June 30th is the,
June 30th is the date.
and there's no grace period or anything.
No.
I mean, coverage stops if somebody has an issue June 31st or July 1st and we haven't figured it out. They're,
I have to check with Harvard Pilgrim on that,
okay.
because most companies offer Cobras. I don't know if that is, we do all of our business through the interlocal trust. So I don't know if we can work directly with the insurance company or not. But that's what we have to check.
That'd be interesting to know because I think it sounds like there could be a good possibility that it won't be settled by then,
That would,
which would be really not fun.
well, we have the whole month of May and June,
Right.
No.
Yeah.
2 months to get this settled, I hope we can.
Us and every
Yeah,
other
hope we
town
can.
who's,
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's good that Interlocal has already set you up with a broker that they're,
They
They
seem-
followed through on
they
that,
have,
so that's
they have
great.
jumped right on this, they have been sincere, they've been apologetic, everything that you would expect, and they, I think they've been trying to do the right thing.
okay, good. Well, that's hopeful.
Alright, unless anybody's got anything else, the final piece of business is to go into executive session to discuss that matter.
Thanks for a wonderful night.
Okay,
sir.
good night, Brian.
Good night.
Alright, so, let me get this form ready.
Yep.
Everybody's here. Who would like to make the motion?
I'll make the motion.
Alright, and your motion is going to be RSAC because it's matters which if discussed in public would likely adversely affect the reputation of any person other than a member of this board.
Okay, so I'll make a motion that we adjourn into executive session for what Cal just said. Cause I can't remember all that.
And who would like to second?
I feel like Calvin second today.
Okay,
I guess I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
yeah, oh, and you all got to yes, I did go back, it was you who first did and you who seconded.
Yeah.